So we've sort of played with moving things around in the file format. Now we're actually going to play with how to mess with the fonts in them. Now, we've worked with fonts before, and these kinds of fonts, 1001 fonts, are fonts that you can bring into your Photoshop and use. When you want to put them in the body here, you want to have something that can be downloaded from the web. The fonts that are currently the ones that are usable are through Google Fonts. So you go to the search the web for Google Fonts. And it comes right up. There's Google Fonts. And you'll see here that we have all these different kinds of fonts. There are now 988 of them. Woohoo! You have two different kinds of fonts that you want to be using. One is a body font, which is readable, and the other is a header font, which can be less readable. So let's look at our two options. So we're going to, look at our options. We have serif, sans serif, display, handwriting, and monospace. Serif and sans serif are your basic body text that you want to read. Display is pretty much headers. Handwriting is always hard to read, and monospace is kind of weird. But what we're going to do is we're going to start by bringing in our header font. So I've gotten rid of, I don't really like monospace. I'm just going to display in handwriting. And I'm going to think, okay, who is the artist that we're looking for? I'm going to type something. I'm going to meet an artist. I'm going to use me. So I'm going to type in my name. And I'm going to say, what kind of artist is Ruth West? Well, is Ruth West formal? No. Is she funky? Not really. Is she handwriting? Not really. She's sort of a Ruth West kind of, what would Ruth West be? I think Ruth West is feeling like Bass New as her header. Okay, so we're going to click on that. And we're going to say, select the style. All right, now see it's over here, we've selected it. Now we're going to go into the baseline, the body fonts. You can get a little crazy with this. So I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go, I'm a real sans serif kind of gal. So I'm going to look at my sans serif possibilities. So my sans serif possibilities are, let's make a little more text. The best artist ever. Okay, there we go. What is readable in this group? I wanted something that's fun but yet easy to read and that sort of states me, and I see myself as sort of a rounded kind of person. So I'm going to go for Nuito, because this gives us another variety. So you can see this gives us a different kinds of, do we want it bold, do we want it extra bold? I'm going sort of regular, and I'm going to select this style. Now I have my two styles out there. You can have a bunch of them, but these are my two styles. And I'm going to use the embed. Now what the embed does is you add this part to your CSS and this part in the header of your page. So for instance, I'm going to grab this, I'm going to copy it, I'm going to take it to Dreamweaver. I'm going to go to, this is my home page, I'm going to go to my code, and I'm going to go to my source code, the HTML code, and it goes in just after the head. Then the head is arrow, head, arrow. Just after that, hit enter and drop that in. There we go. Okay, so that's bringing the style sheet into that page. You have to actually bring the style sheet into every page. So let's do that right now. We're going to go to create, and we're going to go to head, just after head, and put that in there. Credits. I'm going to go after head, put it in there. History. I'm going to go after head, put it in there, and then I'll just say file, save all. Now, the CSS part goes just into the CSS once because the CSS is called up multiple times. So now we're going to, this is my header. And I've just, you notice I copied just the font Fabi. I know that's my header. So I've copied it. I'm going over here, and I'm going to go to my CSS. And my CSS, I'm going to walk all the way down. Now there's, the H1 is pretty much your headline font. So I'm going to Control V, drop that in there, okay? Then I'm going to go to, back over here, I'm going to pick up the second one, Font Family Nuvo, which is my body font. So the first one went into the H1, and this one is going to go into, where's Dreamweaver? There it is. I'm going to roll back to the top. This is my body. There's my body. See body, body, body. See body. Okay. So we can actually leave that there because it's cascading. So the second one is the one it'll pick up. Now, what this is saying, this is the font family is Nuvo, and if for some reason you can't do it, it's just going to be sans serif. Here's what happens. If I hit design, it doesn't look like much, right? But if I go to live, it's now pulling those fonts from the internet. See that? So file, save all. Let's just look at this in my folder, which is over here. I'm going to go to two borders. I'm going to go to history. And what happens with the CSS is it goes throughout the whole thing. So you can see I have just added my Google font.